been guided to talk about um, this new chapter or any new chapter for anybody's listening. Feel guided to talk about the navigation of uncertainty and how we can easily become misguided and thrown off course by choosing to move too quickly, especially when we are moving in a direction that we have never gone in before. Oftentimes, our hastiness um, can cause us to overlook certain um, elements or certain aspects about the new terrain that in us moving with purpose, moving with precision, moving with um, proceeding not cautiously out of fear, but out of what's the word I'm looking for? Moving cautiously out of diligence, you know, we could easily fall into pitfalls that we didn't even see coming because we've never been on that path before. Um, and so I feel guided to just talk about what the lane of new chapters, of new beginnings can bring. Um, and it just makes me think about, it's so crazy, the train and there's so many things that just started up that was not going. So hopefully y'all can't hear this stuff, but the train is going by and now folks walking above me. And my heater, the heater just start blasting again. But I'm gonna push through this message. But yeah, just thinking about when we are heading to a new place, a new destination, we're traveling, we're on the road, like literally you got your GPS going, you've never been to this place before. It's not like the past where you're going to a place where you would frequent. You kind of got the pathways and routes, and even if you need to make a detour, you know the area, you know the space. It's easy to navigate without needing help and needing guidance. But when you're going somewhere new that you've never been to before, you don't know what to expect when you get there. You don't even know what to expect on the road there. It really is important to be navigating through something or with something that has the answers or has the foresight, you know, that also it's important for you to be alert and ready to follow through with that guidance. Like if you using GPS and it's telling you to go left and you choose to go right, well, are you getting closer to that destination or away from it? Um, Likewise, if that GPS is telling you, okay, there's a accident ahead, there's going to be some delays. Like that's one thing we can look for in our GPS that we have, um, in our day, in traveling. But like spiritually, we don't even get that, like. But just still thinking about the fact that like having that guidance um, helps us be able to pivot and proceed in a purposeful way. It just made me think of something I say to my students when we're like transitioning from the classroom heading to, specials or lunch or whatever. And I say we need to move with a purpose, especially if we got a timeline and we got to get there by a certain time, or or leave by, all this and that. It's like we move with a purpose. And I remember um, one of my students asked me like, what is moving with the purpose? And I said, you move with the intention. You move like you got somewhere you need to go, and you move, with focus, right? And so it just makes me think about when we are moving into new chapters, new seasons of life, we have a new destination ahead of us that we may not even truly fully understand where we're heading to, but we are called to move in that direction. We may not understand, okay, why is it telling us to go in this route, but this seems like it'd be quicker. Well, we don't know there might be a speed trap ahead, and it's trying to navigate us around these um, experiences that could potentially delay us getting to the destination. But it's also having that focus, having um, that clarity, and that trust that I'm being guided by something that is more, that has a fuller picture than I do, you know. And I'm going to move with that, in that purpose, move with that intention and that focus, so that I am not putting myself, I'm not the reason or the cause of my own delay to that destination. Um, yeah, I can't control how I get there. I can't control when I get there. I can't control the route in which I take to get there. But I can control my intentions. I can control my um, my diligence. I can control my effort and willingness to move wherever, however, and whenever I'm guided to. Um, and there's freedom in that. It's freedom in knowing or trusting that you are going to make it to the destination at the right time, in the right way, in the right season. But it takes releasing the preconceived and pre-established narratives around your movement, around what is for you. Like, when we move and we make, like, say we make career moves, we make different moves, um, move in new locations and different things like that, we have so many things that we have to factor in. But one thing we don't know is what's going to happen once we're there. Like, we don't know what's happening once we're there. And it's so much that we would have to be um, okay with, of letting things be the way that they will be. There's so much uncertainty. And it's like a song that I'm thinking about that I have on one of my playlists is called The Way. The Way Knows. And it's literally just saying over and over, you don't have to know the way. The way knows the way. You just have to trust the way. You don't even have to find the way. You just got to trust the way. The way knows the way. And it's like, that could be hard to accept, especially in our day and age where we are taught to be hustlers, go-getters, and, get it out the mud on your own. And, like, don't trust others. And it's a dog-eat-dog world, or this and that. All these narratives that society plagues our mind with and programs us with. But then what we're not taught is to, like, really trust in the divine, and trust in our inner knowing, trust ourselves. And we're not taught how to cultivate that trust within ourselves, how to cultivate that trust within our intuition, and like deepening our intuition and our discernment, and having that patience to allow things to evolve and pan out the way it's supposed to. We're taught to rush, and that quick response, and that instant gratification, instant actions, like, instead of the slow and steady. And something that for me this whole year, and I've been, reading the Aesop's fables with the kids, um, and also just that reminder. It's like a quick, easy, um, positive, like redirection narration for the children, slow and steady. And I'm seeing how I need that for myself. Like I have to remind myself of that as well. Slow and steady. You know, don't jump to any, outcome, and don't jump to the negative outcome, especially, don't jump to the conclusion that things are going to be exactly the way you want it to be. Don't jump to the conclusion that things are going to be absolutely the opposite and horrible and destructive, that you don't want it to be either. Like, become, it's that duality, that neutrality, and just allowing things to be, and not holding on and clenching on to any outcomes, but having that open palm, you know, being okay with things that you have or that you once held on to being released. And then also with that open palm that gives you the opportunity, the space to welcome what is to come. When you have a clenched fist, you're not in a posture ready and willing to receive anything. It's going to constantly, what you want is going to constantly be blocked and not tangible and not something that you can hold and hold on to and grasp, because you have blocked yourself in trying to hold on to what was and how you once navigated things, how you once moved through life. And it's like you're in a new chapter now. You can't move those same ways. What worked in chapter 1 will not work in chapter 10. It's a new day, it's a new era. And you have to be willing to release aspects of what was so that you can make room for what is to come. But even and something it just came in my head, even though we have to release some things that no longer serve us, not everything is going to be, you're not starting from scratch. Not everything is going to be released. The wisdom you learned in your previous chapters will remain. The clarity through your lived experiences, those lessons, that will remain. The past is now a point of reference that helps you push forward in your future. Point of reference, and not in what went wrong, but what was learned, what was gained, that which is clarity and wisdom. And there's a level of freedom in trusting that just like in the past you navigated, dark nights, you navigated hardship, you navigated triumph and trials, you've healed wounds, and that will be true in this new direction, this new navigation, this new way forward. Come what may. I hope this helps somebody that's navigating anything, a new season of life, or contemplating a new season of life. I don't know who's listening to this. I would love to know who actually listens to these recordings. Yeah. And yeah, if this is helpful for you, um, feel free to share, like, subscribe. Um, and yeah, until next time.